In this video, I'm going to show you some of my numbers that we're going to do a video on this coming weekend. So I want you to stick around. I want you to subscribe to the channel. You are looking at my 2024. And if I thought $170,000 from 2023 was going to be a huge hurdle, well, this year, we absolutely blew away that number. We came in with covered call writing and dividend income at a whopping $573,912. I am the covered call king. That's right. What we do is we write covered calls, sell cash secure puts, and we buy all of those dividend paying stocks. I call it my dividend tree. And what I love to do is take these profits and dump them into my dividend tree grove, where I have 10 and 20 dividend paying stocks for which they pay me a monthly dividend. We're going to break all of this down in my next video. This video, you're going to get to see a members only video where I go ahead and talk about 3 ETFs that we're going to use in 2025. The members got this exclusive video. You did not. And throughout the year, they got all of my trades that we're going to talk about in the next video. I put on trades, I take off trades. I put on trades for my kids that they get to see. Those are smaller accounts. And we have exclusive videos that I do for the members that you can watch in the phone app. Look, if you are not a member yet and you've been watching my channel, I tip my hat to you. You've stuck around for over 8 years. But if you haven't been a part of the membership, you're really missing out on a great opportunity to, if anything, watch a successful active trader trade his retirement and has the mindset that he cannot lose. See, if I lose at this game, I'm going to have to go back to the 9 to 5, and we're not going to do that. And if I lose with my kids' trades, well, then I'm losing money for my kids, and we're not having that either. So I put on great trades. We find great trading ranges with the stocks and ETFs that we use. I always send that to my members. And you can see them in the phone app. You'll see them on the blog post, or you'll get an email. Members get to see all these trades. We have big trades, small trades to generate the income that we're going to talk about in the next video. See, that's why I want you to subscribe to the channel. And hey, look, if you like this video, if you like what I have been bringing you all year, bang that like button. It lets me know you like what I'm doing. In the description below, you get your 1 free month offer. I want you to take 2025, make that the year that you stop watching others and you join us. We're going to talk about 3 ETFs that we're going to use in 2025. Now, we used them in 2024, and I'll be honest with you, we made a lot of money. One of these, I made over $57,000 alone in 2024, and the 2 others, yeah, we racked up some serious coin trading the trading range. See, that's what I'm really good at, finding a stock's trading range, and then we get involved where it's most favorable for us to have a profitable trade. Hey, we don't win them all, but we win most of them. And that is the key to this game. And they see me buying all of those dividend paying stocks. Hey, look, I know that was a long intro. Let's go ahead and let him take over. But look, if you want to be a part of the channel, I need you to subscribe. And if you like this video today, bang that like button. And in the description below is your 1 free month offer to my membership. Join it. 2025 is going to be bigger than 2024. I know that sounds incredible, but it will. And I'll tell you what, we're going to add to the dividend tree grove. I want you to be a part of it. Members see all of it. And to be honest, I don't even talk about half the stuff we do with the membership here. So you're missing out, and I don't want you to miss out. Hey, look, I'm going to turn it over to him. I want you to have a wonderful New Year's. I want you to be successful. Stick with me. But here's that members video where we're talking about 3 stocks that we're going to use in 2025. Stick around. I know you're going to like this one. Hey, welcome back, everyone. Let's talk about 3 stocks that we're going to use in 2025. So I want you to get comfortable with them. I want you to start thinking about them. So right off the bat, Bitcoin will be the star of the show in 2025. I just cannot believe that Bitcoin does not go higher, largely because there's scarcity. And there's so many hands in the pot that want it. Not only do you have companies like MicroStrategies and Mara changing the game with their business strategy where they're buying Bitcoin on the open market, you have other ETF and big brokerage companies that need Bitcoin inside of their ETFs. Now, I know some of those Bitcoin ETFs will use a synthetic trade to do that. But most ETFs out there aren't geared for the synthetic world. They're not looking for leverage. So they're going to buy Bitcoin and they're going to use Bitcoin to back their ETF products that they sell to their clients. Bitcoin is going to be something that moves higher because I'll also tell you this. If you haven't noticed, the Trump administration has already talked about storing Bitcoin very similar to the way they store gold. We're hearing that from Russia as well, and China will. I think what you're going to find, and this is just my speculation, you're going to find two things in 2025. I think people are going to start to realize that Bitcoin is not going to be the digital currency of the world. Rather, it's going to be a store of equity that holds its value, very similar to gold. Now, with that said, gold doesn't have a scarcity problem, so it doesn't have the volatility. Well, Bitcoin does. And here is the deal. I think we're going to have sort of a digital Bitcoin war where what you're going to find is all these countries are going to be grabbing for Bitcoin. They're going to be grabbing for it because they want to store it because they're going to back all of their fiat currency with that, with Bitcoin and gold. That's what I think is going to happen. So I do believe Bitcoin does go higher. Now, with that said, you do have a scarcity issue with Bitcoin. There's only 21 million coins, and they only float them out about 440 a day when they're mined. Now, Bitcoin has had many, many years to fall flat on its face, quite frankly, become a scam. A lot of people think cryptocurrency is a scam, and I'll tell you, most of the tokens are. But not this 800-pound gorilla. This one has legitimacy, has legs, it's in demand, and it's also very, very scarce. Look for Bitcoin to possibly move to 200,000 by the end of 2025. That's not a prediction. I just think that it will trade in a trading range. So you could clearly see right here, Bitcoin is trading in a trading range. I mean, it does not take a rocket science to see this chart and say every single time it gets in and around 94,000, they come and buy it up. It could fall back because we have this huge gap to fill. I mean, if the big Bitcoin sellers were to dump their shares, you could clearly see us going back to 75,000. I don't think so, but it could. If you want to fill that gap right there, but you could see it seems to have tremendous support. I would love to see the Keltner channel catch up with that. Maybe this is the new trading range, but we're talking about three stocks we're going to use in 2025 a lot. So talking about Bitcoin, we're going to use BitX. Now, I love BitX because BitX is a 2x leveraged ETF to Bitcoin, and we get those fat premiums. Now, if we own the shares, we will collect a dividend as well because BitX has been paying a decent dividend. Now, another one we will play is BitO. Now, it has less volatility, but you can write covered calls with it. What I'm going to tell you about BitO is that you can buy it before the X date, and then you can write a covered call through the X date, get yourself some good premium. Maybe they don't take your shares. You collect BitO's $1 plus dividend. I think BitO just put out a $1 dividend. They've been doing that for months. So BitO is good for the dividend. You write covered calls through the dividend. You collect a little bit more. Your cash on cash, if you collect the dividend and the covered call, will be as much as using BitX on a standard covered call. Bitcoin is going to be a part of our trading in 2025. Now, you're asking, what are the other ones? We're going to stick with SOXL. SOXL is made up of 10 or 12 of the biggest semiconductor stocks. It is not going away, and NVIDIA is going to press higher and higher. I really want you to notice that AI is popping up everywhere. I mean, if you thought AI was a fad, you are wrong. You're on the wrong side of the fence. I need you to get up to speed. AI is here, and it's here to stay. In fact, it's going to get bigger. They have bigger plans, and they need servers and chips to provide that kind of semiconductor power to handle all of that. So look for the semiconductors to move higher. And for me, I really don't care if it moves higher. This trading range right now for me is so bankable. We're literally using 6,000 shares, and I have many more shares than that because my kids have shares, and I love trading SOXL because it trades in this range, and we absolutely know that when they throw the baby out with the bathwater, $25 bill is SOXL. And it's been trading in and around that number. Look at how it bounces off of that. I love it. So for me, I'm going to get involved anytime it's near 26, 27. And I would hope for it to go above 30, 32. That's going to be the trading range. I have 6,000 shares with a cost basis of 32. I love it because even when it falls to where it's at right now, in fact, it was cheaper than this earlier today, I still got off a decent 13-day trade, knocking down in premium alone $4,500. Look, I can live off of that. That's every 2 weeks. And if we decided to do just 1 week, we've been getting anywhere between $1,200 and $1,800, depending how close to 32 it gets. Of course, 32 is my cost basis. XOXL, get comfortable with it. Ride the range. Stick with me because I know these ranges, and we're trading them. We're playing them like a fiddle. Now, the final one we're going to talk about is TNA. Why are we talking TNA? I haven't had a trade in TNA for a while. Why did I not have a trade? Well, we talked about why TNA was trading in the 30s and then the 40s and then the 50s, right? They're small to mid-cap companies, and when the Fed lowers rates, they're able to borrow money cheaper. They're all going to borrow money. They get to borrow money cheaper, which means they could move their profits higher. They get to expand their business. Well, that's why TNA pops from the mid-40s to the mid-50s. And look what happens. We get this trading range in the 40s, and we were banking. We were banking the money every single time because you could just trade that beautiful range. And then the Fed comes out, it pops into the 50s, and it starts its new range. Now, that was not long-lived because guess what happens? Some inflation numbers come out, a little worry. Next thing you know, this thing has uncertainty. And when it has uncertainty, it starts to lag. And then the Fed changes. And when it changes its policy, we get that hella fall. And look where we're back. We're now on that 250-day moving number right there. I'll tell you what, that was a good support right there because you can go all the way back to when it breaks resistance here. This was your range. And look, it falls to the bottom of that range. So why do I have a feeling, okay, pull out your crystal balls. Why do I have a feeling it's going to trade in this range right here? I think that's going to be the case. So we go back to just 3 months ago when I told you TNA was not going to trade in the 30s anymore. It was going to be in the 40s, and the range was going to be 46 to 40. And we played those, played them like a fiddle. Absolutely know your ranges, trust your ranges, trade with confidence. So, we talked about Bitcoin, and you can see that it's trading at the bottom of its range. It is much more volatile. You see me trading MicroStrategy's 2x leveraged ETF, MSTX, but I want you to know something. I'm not that exposed to MSTX. I basically have 400 shares, and we're wheeling and dealing those 400 shares, making decent profit. Make sure you do not overextend yourself. 2024, I overextended myself with SMCI, and I'm still feeling that pain. Now, I'm going to get out of that trade, but I will not find myself overexposed. To be honest, this SOXL trade where I have 6,000 shares and some $200,000, that is at the top of where I want to be. In 2025, God willing, my trades will be in and around 30,000 to 50,000 chunks. And unless that stock or ETF is at the bottom of its range and I feel completely comfortable, that's when I'll lever up and maybe throw $100,000 at a trade. I would rather have the flexibility of multiple trades working at multiple expirations, so I'm always engaged. This one trade lasting for 13 days and I can't do anything, I don't like that. That's not what we do. Before I get out of here, one of the last things I want to show you is that we have been putting away in the dividend tree an incredible amount of money, and I now generate $23,000 a month using covered call and cash secure put profits, and we buy a dividend paying stock. Now, I'm blessed, for which I don't need the money that I'm trading, so I'm able to plow it into these dividend paying stocks. Now, the mindset is I'm collecting these things like baseball cards. So as soon as I get some money, I want to buy a dividend-paying stock. Now, just this past week, I finished up AMZ. AMZ is the Amazon Yield Max Fund. Have 1,000 shares of that, and we move on. We're now going to use ULTY, for which I already have 2,000 shares. But I love that dividend. I love the strategy. They've changed up how they're working their distributions. ULTY will be a fund that probably trades around $9 to $11, and it's just going to keep paying that juicy 80-cent per share per month dividend. And I'll take that because as I grow my ULTY stake, 3,000 shares, that'll be close to $3,000 per month. I'll tell you, the dividend tree grove keeps growing. You know, just the other day, somebody said, John, why don't you have 5 or 6 stocks that grow really tall? I want to have 30 dividend trees that are about 1,000 shares tall, collecting different ranges of monthly cash flow, being diversified. And at some point, when the numbers get so big, I'm going to turn on drip investing, dividend reinvestment program on those 1,000 shares. And now with a dividend tree grove of 30 or more dividend paying funds, they're going to grow tall now. I'll tell you what, at the end of the day, this is the most incredible time of our life because option selling is absolutely allowing us to print money where you didn't have money before. You had your shares, you watched them go up and down, or you had cash that's sitting on the sideline. We're using the shares and the cash to then sell premium. That premium you never had. You basically printed money. And now we take that money that you didn't have and we buy a dividend paying stock. And that dividend paying stock now produces a passive dividend income lifestyle for you. We go from the mindset of trading to now having the wealth mindset. See, what we want to do is get to the point where we're making more money with our dividend tree growth than our actual selling premium. That's what we're looking to do. Hey, look, I'm going to leave it right there. Ask me any questions. You know you can always check my dividend tree list and my current shares and what dividend ETFs I'm buying. Hey, look, be safe, be healthy, most important, be lucky. Until next time, may all your covered calls be profitable.